So what we may see in a lot of amateur swings, swaying in their backswing, that amateurs may do as well, where they just start trying to spin out the hips and almost rotate as much as they can. I want to test something here before we get started. If I put the club, say, upside down and just put it in the ground, and all I did was just simply rotate right and left, the question I have is, how much of the ground under your feet are you actually feeling? And chances are, if all you're doing is just spinning, you're really not using the ground or the pressure under your feet at all. And I want to make sure that we understand here that force perceives motion. So if we apply some sort of ground force into the ground actually reacts back. So for example, if I put 100 pounds of force in the ground, meaning pushing down, it's going to send 100 pounds of force back up the body. And what if I told you that how we engage in the ground and how we apply force in the ground, that will actually send a wave of energy up the body to create rotation for you? So first, how do we understand if we're using the ground or not? And one of the things that I like doing as a drill here is grabbing a little slider or even a paper plate. So if you don't have access to a slider, go buy yourself a paper plate and stand on it with the right foot. And a very simple way to even identify if we're even using the ground in the first place, even without ground force pressure mats, is really just taking a backswing. Put the plate underneath your right foot for a right-handed golfer, and obviously under the left foot for a left-handed golfer. And just go ahead and take your backswing. And if all of a sudden you don't see that foot move in any direction, then we're clearly not using the ground. So if I showed you that player where we're getting that reverse spine angle, front toe is elevating, plate's not moving. Now if I did the opposite where I'm just kind of rotating and spinning out my hips, plate's also not moving. If we do this more appropriately, what we should see is that right foot should actually spin clockwise. So as a right-handed golfer, once again spinning to my right. And as we do this here, notice how if I took more of my traditional backswing, even if I decided to hover the club in front and swing it back, do you see how my foot is actually spinning clockwise, as well as almost slightly pushing to the right? So with this twist and push, that action is what sends energy up the leg to then create our hip rotation. So not trying to rotate out of the pelvis. The ground force pressure by twisting and pushing, by us pushing down and away with that spin, it sends a wave of energy up the pelvis to then create that effortless rotation that we've all been searching for.